Beautiful friends, I have a moment. I have a moment to sit here and be with you. So let's do it. Let's start with a slow inhale in. And let's let it go. I think today I'm going to speak to the reclamation of parts of ourselves that may have gotten silenced or muted throughout our life experience. It's a little prominent in my life at the moment as my heart just continues desiring more expression, more creative expression, more use of these forms to tell a story. I'm listening to more instrumental music, studying more art, surrounded by more art, and I personally am kind of convinced that the arts and expression is one of the ways we can stay very human. The robots won't be able to do that the way that we can. The robots won't have the consciousness field the same way that humans do, these heart fields. And so art that truly comes from the heart is art that can be felt and can help us stay anchored in what makes us human in a world that really wants us to forget and divide ourselves between our fellow humans by views and opinions and beliefs and religions and races and classes and all sorts of things that this oppressive system wants us to put ourselves in boxes, put each other in boxes, and if someone isn't in our box or close to our box, then why bother? And I'm seeing that theme so close to my life. I am surrounded by a lot of incredible beings who identify and put their entire personality inside of a religion of Christianity usually. That's what's closest to me. And a political belief system, which is either Democrat or Republican. And then, everything just kind of gets centered around this box, this identity, this belief system that does have a lot of beauty and it always separates us from each other. And so me being someone who is choosing to believe in God deeply, to know God deeply, outside of labeling myself or calling anyone my Lord, can I still just practice being with people who do? And can those people practice just being with me? And it is not easy. It is not easy at all. I think for them as well to practice loving me when they are so certain and so clear that the way they see and believe and know through their faith lens or their political lens is so justified. There is something really beautiful about that justification. And to adapt the ability for your brain to allow more than one thing to be true at a time, that's a real upgrade. That's a real mental upgrade that when I look back at my awareness journey starting around a decade ago, I was doing fine in life before. I had a successful career in horse racing. I was riding around on private jets. I was living this life that everybody, was inspiring. And it was cool. And it was also very one-dimensional. And I could only hold one truth at a time in my mind. And I was not planning on dumping all of that and completely changing the whole trajectory of my life and going from executive director of a horse racing association to living in a barn loft in Texas that leaked when it rained. We had to collect the water, and it was so humbling. I had to crouch into this little camp shower. When in the chapter just before that, I was at the tip top of the quarter horse racing world with the, most well-known families and all of that. It was such a contrast that I literally did not plan for outside of my own awareness saying, is there more to reality and life? I had been a practicing Christian at that point, loving it, got baptized, hell yeah, loved singing together in the church environment, so cool, so awesome. And I just got blasted into this new path of studying things outside of any box. Energetics, the world of the unseen, the life outside of here, our journey outside of here, where we come from, how we got here, what our bodies are made of, what the earth is made of, what's possible in healing. And this is mysticism. This is what many people around me would call witchcraft. And that is deemed as very bad. You go into straight up hell, according to them, if you do any sort of quote unquote worshiping of the earth. But this is not a practice of worship. This is a practice of walking alongside the natural world that was created by the same creator that is mentioned in every single religion ever. God is love. God is the creator. Underneath that level of God, the creator, all that is, there's this layer that has very easily been compromised. And it's the layer of the lords, the layer of the teachers, the Buddhas, the Krishnas, the Jesus, the Mohammeds, the even the archangels and the goddesses and all the pagan goddesses. This is where any energy with a bad agenda, with an agenda of doing harm, it can attach itself to these names, to these teachings, to these religions. And that's where it can get in and start to fragment people, start to say, oh, well, I'm a great Christian, but, I treat my body like shit and my closest relationships aren't that great and solid. Or I still have to be on all these, pharma medications, for my entire life. And so it's a fragmented experience of reality, and truly no judgment if that is a part of your reality. My reality is not perfect by any means. What I would say I have been able to clearly experience in my life is harmony, personal harmony internally. And it's being cultivated more and more in all of my external world. And for so long, I have been outside of, I would say maybe matrix reality, the normal ass, life shit. I've just, been inside of my bubble where people come in and they're all desiring to better themselves and be better wives and mothers and community members. And so we've been on this journey. But now I'm going back into more of the 3D world. I'm going back into the horse world in a whole new way, working in the horse arena again, but I'm different now, and the way I see things are different now, and now I have the tools to regulate myself and to get excited about being in co-creation with other amazing humans. And this is where all of this work that we do when we're on this path, if you're listening to this podcast, you're one of my homies, I know, who is also just choosing this lens and awareness outside of boxes, outside of separation. And I don't even have fully all of the language for it. But what I'm seeing now is we go on this path, and we're on this path so that we can take it into any atmosphere. We can sit with anybody, any class, any race, any religion, anybody, and we're just like, we can see there is no energetic barrier because we haven't placed that in our own being. It's like, no, we are a human race, one human race. This is a global, big ass universe with life on other planets. They're about to tell everybody. So that lens of like, no, human race, one creator energy, many teachers throughout time, but I'm willing to just let myself be a teacher. Let just my family be teachers for me. My children, everything is a fucking teacher. Like that lens, I feel, right? Y'all don't have to believe anything I say. I'm just speaking from my heart while my child is napping. But that lens, I feel, may be wildly serving as we go forth, and they're really pushing these agendas of this versus that. When we step into this and that, there really doesn't need to be any arguing. You know who you're fighting for, you know what you're fighting for, and you know what you're standing for in your own physical vibration, your energetic field, that which can be measured by scientific devices now, your electromagnetic field, it's surrounding you. The robots won't have it. You can strengthen it. You can fortify it. You can amplify it. You can purify it through your own journey of learning about your damn self, learning about ourselves, removing the stories and limitations that we know are fragmenting our own experience. This is not easy. This is going to take some time. We are playing the long game, and we have to know that we're doing enough, but it does take showing up, continuing to show up. And if you are going through, so here's where I'm tying it in, I guess, with the theme. I guess I was going to talk about reclaiming a piece of ourselves. So we all have an art form to bring forth right now, a form of expression, a form of art. It's creative. It's setting spaces with your voice or your hands or your eyes or your mind. It's things that the robots cannot do for us. And it's things that spark connection between you and others. We are not meant to go at this alone. So my reclamation, here we go back to it, and this is me just stating it today. Whenever, I think I need to release this next week because it's election week next week, so I'll release it on election day for us. My reclamation is in words. Of course, it hit me this week in my podcast, or whatever, my breath work. This is the podcast. In my breath work, it's like, Danielle, hello, bitch, you have always loved words. You know, kindergarten, you publish a poem that got nationally published. Like, you have always loved words. You've always loved expressing. That's why you've done the social media, the way you have sharing and the journals. And so I am reopening myself because the poetry used to just come to me, and it just felt so good and like light and fun, and for somehow it stopped. And so that is the quest I'm about to go on. How do I be tender with the part of me that decided it wasn't safe to make fun, flowy word salads that make us feel like a child, make us feel playful, and connect to our innocence. That's the frequency of what I feel like God is. Awe and wonder and innocence and childlike play, true childlike play. But our innocence is the thing that's gotten the most inverted. And you look at the state of the youth, the state of the sacral chakra and sexuality, and all of the shadow harm that's been done is surrounding our innocence and this second chakra of creation and creativity. So you do your part, not by electing anybody, but by voting on your damn self. Healing and working with and releasing and making sure you are in right relationship with your own self and your body and your family and your life experience. Because I promise you, you have so much to contribute in these times, and we need all of us. This is how we face the battle, because it is spiritual warfare out there. And thank God for the practices and the tools and the times when we can just be together and play and be silly. I hope you take time to do that as well. This weekend, we're gonna play. We're gonna have a little bonfire, play some board games. I am slowly trying to get my family to become a board game family. It's slow going, but I have lots of board games, so I'm gonna make everybody play some games. We're gonna be in Shay Styles. Holler, Shay Styles, love you so much. She has a hair show tomorrow, so Harper, my bonus daughter, and I are going to be walking that runway hair show style. So yeah, I love you all. Thank you for listening to this flow. I'm always available to hear any feedback, any insights, and I am here humbly, fumbly, like a limp noodle, but a stronger noodle with time, moving forward. Forward. Let's take a big breath in. Let's let it go.